chance of maybe something crazy happening around Milta.
Yeah, it could be. We could be looking at another Oath feeder circle, but hopefully not. What do you remember the Milta Power Circle from last week? The one that just kept going east.
Yes. I mean, we've already had our one hard shift into hard shift game where we just kept continuing going south back over towards Miramar, but I'm greedy. I want more. So we've got a couple of these guys looking like they're going for some congestions in vehicles, but probably not going to lead to a lot of violence. Really, the only one that's kind of awkward is the Pentalol Dodge one that's kind of going off to one side. But that one should end up perfectly fine. Nothing too crazy coming out of that one. But
For him here, Matt.
Everybody thought it was free until suddenly all three of these teams just roll in at the exact same moment. Or goes for a couple of shots back over towards a seat switch. Gonna hit a couple more shots back over towards it. And while the defender for that point was trying to come up with something, it's gonna be T8 also losing one. Grizzly's turning around, trying to use the vehicle for a little bit of cover, provide something for his teammate, maybe at least get this flush out as well, as Mero's trying to creep away from this. ATC doesn't have the best opportunity to really provide a lot of support for him. Almost does manage to take down Grizzly, but should have enough time to get a little bit of meds back up onto this as reinforcements are going to come in, and Steezy with some
Winnie.
I don't know. That's going to be the question. Look at the beautiful angle coming in. Tap shots galore, but the problem with it is everything else is coming apart. Winnie, last one up for any trolls in chat. I know Toffees is watching this right now. He was cheering so hard for him. He's got the Macarenas, but they're in a lot of trouble right now.
Yeah, Hardship's actually pulling up on the backside of Glasshouse here. You can see Maluk get Steezy down and will get the flush as well. So Tactical 8 only coming away with 3 kills out of this.
He's got the spot inside this next circle without a doubt. Our latecomer is still going to have to figure out some way to cross the bridges, make some type of approach. But back over towards the east, it's getting a little bit spicy as Oath and Liberate have kind of bumped into each other, taking a couple of shots. Not a lot coming into play. Really, I think it's going to be whenever Exodus decides to slam on the brakes and where they stop, because being the front runners in that, if they regroup with Punage and then they turn around, it looks like there could be up to 5 teams that could be just running right along the same path that Exodus just took. So that could be the big turnaround moment. Don't forget about Winnie, too. Winnie is the last person alive for ATC, but might opt into taking a couple of shots there. A couple of teams having to figure out how they're going to rearrange out of this, most notably Liberate and Wildcard. Wildcard, who's been having a phenomenal day, might find themselves in a little bit of trouble if they continue on this path.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's stacking towards the same rotations through this, and now see Winnie just wants to be left alone, and everybody keeps driving towards him. Unfortunately, he's got himself down by the little random gate that's out in the field there. But as I said, Winnie going to get himself a little bit of respite now. Keenan looking to pressure Voxic maybe, but not actually putting any shots down. This is such a wildcard play.
I love this. Wildcard's like, oh, there's like 50 cars around us. Let's just jump out of our vehicles, use trees, and start fighting people that they can't leave.
As they're finally having Fabled make their way over, and then a late boat actually pulling up here. Going to be coming pretty close to the rocks over on the west side. I think they might actually opt to wrap around. Can we talk about SDK's position for it? They've somehow now ended up with the dog shack up at the top. Actually, the Grandma's house now it is with Wrangle 2.0.
There's nobody to the west. How is there nobody playing the
Astra? SDK going to put some damage down onto the vehicles. You see Luke 12 down at the compound on his own. Drassel leading the way for Exodus right here, actually colliding with his teammate. Luke 12, wise decision here to get out. No point trying to defend the 1v4 crash. So
let him have it.
Good decision. Land just a little bit too far. There you go. Relo will find him regardless.
Not a lot of places to go outside of that when the other members of Oath, now capable of running back over here, have themselves a foothold to work with. Back down towards the south, it's still cleaning up just a little bit, but team upon team are crashing into each other. It's going to be Wildcard and I believe Dodge that have bumped into each other. So everything's kind of calmed down just a little bit, but the referees for this fight so far have been shoot to kill. They're really in a lot of control points. They can look down. They can see so many different angles. Wildcard's starting to have a lot of trouble inside this crash. Luckily, 2 of their members did manage to crawl inside of the building. Might be able to get the reses up, but they're very, very hazardous to go for right now. You don't want to commit 2 of your members to going for these reses at the exact same time because it is a gamble, but that's what Wildcard loves to live by. Instead, Dodge.
Tactical 8 should find themselves the double one story over there, but everybody should have a spot to play except for, I mean, actually Liberate is getting spotted out there. Adit's going to be found a distance from Lobes, but yeah, that wildcard fight down on the edge.
Spot to play for right now. Question comes into play is, how are they going to try to capitalize off of it as they're pretty due up towards the center of the circle? 64 up now, looking back over towards Illusion is, oh no! Winnie finally got spotted out.
Finally. But actually, Oath making a play under the bridge here. You see Top Dog's going to get the opening knock here. I'm hoping Oath don't get pinched in here. Ranger actually going to pull up in the UAZ. Wolf going to find Top Dog, so that's going to give Oath an opportunity to kind of reset, maybe get this res off, but Ranger...
And how they can opt into playing this. They have Isoplex in a very interesting point as Oath just hops on a motorcycle, runs by this. Good shots coming out off of it. Oath just rolling through, runs over Ranger as they just continue pushing this back over. Free Me Please is just watching as his teammate just gets splattered across the windshield. Now looks up back behind this, takes a couple of shots, trying to make sure that he can at least survive out of this point as he has suddenly found himself completely surrounded.
The Snake is actually... He's going to have to stick this maybe on it. Free Me Please, maybe just going to try and hold this. Dirty's going to come in with a third party, get him down to 8 HP. Not going to find a kill just yet. You can see, though, he's not really got a spot. Oh, can he see his foot? No, he's actually perfectly LOS there, but the blue going to tick down. Almost definitely going to... He actually managed to get that kit off. Wow.
Now he has to run forward in the blue. Beautiful shot. Free Me Please now has the gates open and he can run forward. He's just got to catch up to the blue zone. As you can see, it is just chunking him. He's got to survive for about another 5 to 6 seconds, and yep, he's going to be able to make it in. Dirty's in, and Lopes, no! After all that work, the heartbreak of Red as soon as you make it into the safe zone just to get tapped in the head. All right, new circle has popped, and if you're a Sonics fan, that's some bad news because it's going back shoot to Kill's direction.
Now we've got Tactical 8. We're going to stack up onto the 2 stories. Hardshift's actually in a weird spot now. That last shift's now put them in this push across the roadmap, we know, notoriously difficult.
Everybody is looking up the hillside towards the hard shifts, and that's letting Fable just walk up right back behind this. A couple of shots are going to come out from them. Now having to be very, very cautious as Hardshift says, okay, if we can't just walk in, let's start sending it in with vehicles. Let's start getting more control. We need to start playing this as aggro as possible, but now it's going to be Supernova having a beautiful angle off to the side of it, raining in damage. 2 knocks already coming back over towards the hard shifts. 64 up, getting a little bit of breathing room as it looks like Lobes is the guy that got sent forward. Not in a position to go back and res the rest of the teammates, but Fable is just continuing to walk forward off of these beautiful shots coming out from Supernova.
Wow, yeah, actually Dirty's in. Oh, is that Nate going to go all the way? Ooh, nearly had to get him down. Dirty's in down to 11 HP, but he's getting pressured back behind the UAZ. Going to put himself a smoke down. And should be able to get this first aid off, but I mean, what can he really do from that position now? He's just got to lay Snake and hope that people forget about him.
Looks like Hardships is starting to do a little bit of damage control, trying to get a couple of grenades, a couple of throwables over the other side of this. Fabled still looking back on the other side of 64 up, taking any tap shots that they can see. Never know, might connect with the head. Gotta be very careful off of it, but it's gonna be Supernova again, going after Duel this time, because hearing everything that's going on, you can see Cherry starting to make his way down here as the rest of Duel has to be very careful now. Supernova does go down off the shots from this, but Smoke's instantly popping up. They're trying to keep their player up and active, but they're starting to realize it might be a little bit too aggressive. There's too many teams around. Fabled needs to make a push up this hillside and has to be very careful as Hardships still have sight lines over towards him. Hardships finally trying to get back over into their vehicle. Greg Shot's trying to use this moment to cap full force. Cat Caps leading the way for Exodus. They've been hearing this firefight for a while. Opts into playing the lower part of the hill. Could just swoop in right back behind Fable before they even know what happened. Hardships has also moved a little bit more aggressively. Pat looks back up the hillside, tries to go for a couple of shots. Does get down onto one of the members for Fable. I'm going to see Hardships also getting a knock on the other side of this. Now it is just Tanaka having to retreat from this point. Hell has gone down. Fable gets pincered very quickly, but now Hardships has to be careful. They are now contending with Exodus, who is rampantly continuing their push off to the side of this.
As we're now seeing SDK try and finally clear up the last members of 303. D-Rich split very far away from Landoon here, so no real trade possibility coming in. I don't think SDK really are in a position to force this. Poonage is going to be gifted a free crate down at the bottom of the hill here. That's pretty nice to pick that up down in phase 6. See Hardships hopping back into vehicle.
Desperately clinging to pieces of cover, but Styles hesitant, doesn't want to push around the outside of this, but if he does, he might find an angle. I think they heard his footsteps. Hardshift's starting to get a little bit more aggressive back over towards that angle. He's about to find himself in a 3v1 before he knows it. Instantly pops up. It's going to be Jason, gets it down. Darth looks back over, does get a spray, but before you know it, Atheris is down and out. J-Sank bleeds out off of this as well. Have to be very careful off of it. 303 taking some shots, and it's going to be D-Rich yet again providing a little bit of harassment back over towards the Hardshifts.
Yeah, D-Rich has got to come and regroup here. 303 have managed to put 7 points in the form of kills on the board already, so impressive for them to be losing numbers and still picking up. They got Landu going to get a nice knock onto Maluk as well behind the tree. Now, Ove's going to try and cross over. I don't think it's wise for him to go to the res. He's probably going to try and back off and find something, but Exodus going to pick up line of sight onto him now. Can't quite close out the kill, though. Poonage has got closer and closer to SDK's compound now. I think it sounded like he picked himself up an MK.
All right, so shoot to kill. Unsure of how many kills they've had, but they have been taking a lot of shots at everything going on. D-Rich getting the Viking funeral, gonna go ahead and go take it out. I like how Alo's like, you can't ever be too safe. He might be on fire, but let's also throw the grenade. Just double it up. Houston Hardshifts, now is going to be the time that they're going to need to come alive, and it's going to be against Exodus if they do it. Civ gets a couple of shots back over towards him, but does go down. Reinforcements starting to come in from shoot to kill. They have the high ground, but has to be very careful. Go over the peaks off that. Nice drop back down. Gonna get the flush. No, but Luke goes down as well. Alo's up on top of the house, looking back down onto this, suddenly finding himself completely surrounded. He's got enemies on every side and has to run in for safety.
Yes, I think it's now mathematically impossible, obviously, for them to pass Sonic, so now I guess Alo just playing for pride at this point, but where he's gone to, right? Exodus still hugging onto their side, and actually Beam's going to spot out Landoon here. There you go. That's one player out of the equation right now. So 2v1v1 for Exodus now. Beams is going to get himself a fairly central position.
4 kills shooting on for shoot to kill right now. Very aware, does spot out Beams, takes a shot, and then it's a 2v1. I love the instant spin coming out from shoot to kill. They're very aware that the push is going to be happening. Looks back down the hillside, tries to connect with some shots.
Unlucky.
Not going to get it. That could be big right now as he's trying to push through the smokes. He is in a disadvantaged position, but he has the high ground points. Moving back down the hillside, no, he's going to get spotted out by Drassel. Exodus with 8 kills walks away with the victory.
And thank God the military team wins the military